All right, this one is called Last Few Standing. This one is in a post-apocalyptic type world where most people or any really living beings have long since passed due to technological advancements which have ruined our ecosystem, our air, and our water. The story follows two sisters who are surviving in a laboratory which has a, for lack of better terms, because I know I'm going to mess this up, essentially one of those airtight rooms that creates its own oxygen, which is the only reason they've been able to survive for this long. 7 years after the air of the world became toxic to inhale, most people have long since passed away. Alina, a scientist who worked on the technology that brought the world to chaos, and Harlow, her younger sister, have taken refuge in an airlocked lab at Alina's work. The setting is a lab of sorts, decked out with scientific equipment, tarps separating different areas, loads of books, as well as daily life items like blankets, mugs, and playing cards scattered about. On one side is an entrance area with a disinfecting area between doors, and the other side has a makeshift greenhouse inside the lab. Lights come on as Harlow enters from a different part of the lab and walks over to the makeshift greenhouse. She notices one of the plants started to bear fruit. Yes, yes, yes! As Harlow is celebrating, a buzzer is heard as Alina emerges through the first door. She's wearing a full hazmat suit, oxygen mask, and is carrying a duffel bag. She strips out the hazmat suit, takes off the oxygen mask, and places the bag on the ground. Once off, she hits a button and a burst of air blows around her. Once done, the light turns green.
Disinfecting complete. Air quality normal.
The second door unlocks and Alina picks up the duffel bag and walks through. Her walking is staggered and she looks exhausted.
Alina, you're back!
Whoa, calm down. Let me breathe some clean air for a moment.
Alina walks to a chair and sits down.
What were you able to find this time? Any more food?
Actually, I was. I stumbled upon some makeshift compound in someone's shed while I was scavenging. It looked like a bomb shelter, but it seems like they were able to keep the outside air from getting in.
Were they alive?
No, I think some winds caused a partial cave-in. But based on the decomposition of the bodies, I'd say they died only a year or two ago, maybe less. Guess those air quality machines the government set out could work under the right circumstances.
Does that mean there could be more people alive?
Well, it's possible, I guess. Anyway, they still had a lot of canned goods, so once I have all of them tested, we might be in the clear for food for a while.
Speaking of food, the tomato plant started growing fruit. Come here and see.
Harlow drags Alina over to the tarped greenhouse. Alina inspects the plant.
Finally worked. Look at that.
You know what that means?
No, what?
I finally get to use those cookbooks we found. Goodbye canned SpaghettiOs and hello real homemade shit.
Slow your roll, Harlow. It still must survive to full maturity.
Alina suddenly starts to show discomfort and winces from pain.
Alina!
Harlow attempts to help Alina to a chair, but Alina waves her off and goes by herself. Harlow follows her to the chair and sits next to her.
I thought you said the pain stopped.
It did. I'm probably just hurting from carrying that huge bag back. I walked a few extra miles this time. I'm fine. Don't worry.
But you really don't look very good. Are you sure?
I'm fine, Harlow. So, what have you done the last few days? Have you been studying?
Alina, seriously?
Yes, seriously. Now I know you don't think it's important, but it's good for you to know why and how everything in here works. It's stuff you need to know now. Test the food, soil, air quality. There are so many things to know. I know it's boring. Trust me, this was my entire life. Even after college, there was no end to studying. But that's because it's important. So you can't get behind. The sooner you understand, the better.
Alina, why are you avoiding the subject?
I'm not. It's just not important.
You going out into that hellhole in pain isn't important?
I told you it wasn't that.
Oh, come on, don't bullshit me. I'm not a kid anymore. You really think I'm gonna fall for that?
Alina sighs and pauses for a moment.
Harlow, it's complicated, okay?
I don't care. I mean, you told me you wouldn't go if you were in pain. I told you I could go.
I don't want you to go out there.
I'm gonna have to one day. I mean, this suit keeps it safe.
Not safe enough.
What does that mean?
Alina takes a breath.
Harlow, I don't know how to tell you this.
Just spit it out. What the hell is going on?
I've been showing signs of liver failure.
What?
I'm sorry, Harlow.
But why? How?
It seems the suit keeps most of the toxins in the air out, but not all. I've shown to have high levels of it in my bloodstream.
Harlow slowly stands up in shock.
I didn't know until it was too late. I thought if I looked in more places, I'd find some medicine this time that could help slow the process. That's why I went. It's also why I couldn't send you. I couldn't risk you getting exposed.
Harlow turns and slowly walks away from Alina.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
You said the toxins were incurable.
Alina nods.
Maybe we could do more tests. I mean, we have a lot of sciencey shit here. There must be something that can figure out a cure, right?
You know the answer to that, Harlow. We've been through this before. There's nothing to be done.
No, I can't just accept that. You can't die too. You can't just give up and leave me here alone.
I'm sorry.
Stop saying you're sorry. Sorry doesn't stop you from dying. Sorry doesn't stop you abandoning me.
Harlow, listen to me.
Alina grabs Harlow and brings her closer.
You will be fine.
What?
The plants are growing. There's food and medicine for a few months while they grow. You have power and a water purifier. You can survive this.
Are you kidding me? You actually expect me to just... Oh, whoa. You actually expect me to just be here alone in this box?
This is why I've stocked up, why I keep going out there, why I make you study all those textbooks, so that if anything happens, you could take care of yourself. I know you can do it.
Are you just okay with this? Are you happy to leave me alone? Was it always your plan to just die on me?
Harlow, I always knew my actions would follow me. All of this is my fault.
What are you talking about?
I caused all of this. I was a part of the team who created the weather modification technology. I was the one who created the formula for the hypergrowth fertilizer. The world ending has been on my shoulders all this time. It was my creations that created the toxic air, my research that stopped food growing and water to be undrinkable. In trying to improve the world, I single-handedly killed billions of people. I tried to play God, and all of this is my punishment.
Alina, you aren't making any sense. What are you talking about?
Everyone has been left to suffer because of me. I can't let you die. You have to survive. I've lost everything else. I can't lose you.
Alina breaks down as Harlow stops to collect her thoughts.
Do you realize what you're asking of me? Every day has been hell since this started. Since I was a kid, I've had to watch everyone around me die slowly and painfully. I had to listen to their screams and see their blood. Your punishment? If all of this is your punishment, then what am I being punished for? What does your punishment have to do with me?
Harlow.
No, fuck you and your pity party. You don't get to be upset. You get to die. You get to have your guilt and pain end. You get to have peace. You want me to continue to live in agony completely alone. The only reason I've gone this long is because you were here. I've accepted all of the misery, all of the death, all of the shit life has thrown at me just to be with my sister. So fuck you for this, fuck you for getting sick, fuck you for leaving me alone, fuck you.
The room goes silent. All that can be heard for a time is occasional sniffles. Harlow takes a long, shaky breath.
So what now?
Alina doesn't respond.
How long till it happens?
I don't know.
Fine. I'm going to bed.
Harlow.
Harlow storms off behind a tarp. Alina sits alone for a time. She finally stands up and walks back to the greenhouse, bringing her chair. She stares at the plant, then breaks down in tears, lying her head on the edge of the counter holding the planters. Lights change to signify time passing. Harlow enters back from behind the tarp. She looks a mess.
Alina?
Harlow approaches Alina, who remains unmoved. Harlow jostles Alina's shoulder to wake her up. When that doesn't work, Harlow starts to feel Alina's forehead.
God, you are burning up.
Alina rushes to the faucet, starts the water, and grabs a nearby rag. She wets the rag and rushes back to Alina and presses the rag on her head, neck, and arms, trying to get her fever down.
Alina, you need to lie down. Get up.
Alina remains unmoving.
Please get up.
Harlow attempts to force Alina up, but it doesn't work. Harlow starts to hyperventilate and pace around in panic.
No, not yet. Please, not yet. What do I do?
Harlow collapses on the ground and starts to cry in her hands. Some time passes, and Harlow looks up from her hands, looking defeated. She stares at the floor for a time, then looks up at the entrance doors. After staring at the doors, she forces herself up off the ground and slowly approaches the doors. The doors open. She opens the first door, leaving it open, then enters a code and presses a button. The second door opens, lights flash, and a warning alarm goes off.
Warning, door open, toxins detected. Warning, door opens, toxins detected.
The warning continues to repeat itself. Harlow walks back over to Alina, gives her a kiss on the head, and sits down on the floor, taking deep breaths. Thank you. Y'all can go ahead and sit down.